to TV and Popcorn. Remember to subscribe, like, and comment below. Hi everybody, it is Monica here from tvandpopcorn.com. I am super excited to be back with you guys. It's been so long since I've done my last review, but let me tell you, it is not because I haven't wanted to review some of my favorite shows and movies and even some I don't like. It's just time has not permitted me to really dive in and come hang with you guys. But now I am making time to come back, hang out with you all. There are some exciting changes coming to the website. We're coming back bigger and better than before. Don't you just love it when you can just see growth and progression in your life over the years? I think my last review was sometime maybe late 2016. Either way, it's not that I haven't wanted to come hang out with you guys. It's just been busy. My life has been a huge busy journey in the past 2 years, but I'm so excited to be back. So today, as you can see by the title, I am going to talk to you guys about Shades of Blue. Yes, one of my favorite series right now, hands down, for sure, going in my top 10 favorite crime drama series of all time right now. And they're getting ready to end the series altogether. The series finale is coming up here very soon. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to click really quick here and get the date for you guys. The series finale is coming up Sunday, August the 19th. All right. So here's the thing. I've loved Shades of Blue from season 1. I can't say I'm mad they're ending. I'm more so glad they're ending on a high note. And those of you who have subscribed to this channel, you know that I've had a major issue with the way they ended Revenge, which would have went in my top 10, I guess you can say, drama show series of all times. But it just went downhill. It was like watching it crash and burn, which we'll talk about that a little bit more here later. But with Shades of Blue, they're ending on a high note. This last episode, it just made me wish I came to discuss this show a lot sooner, because my jaw was on the floor. I was like, wow, this did not just happen. Seriously? So if you don't follow Shades of Blue, feel free to hang out, but I recommend, if you're going to hang out on this particular review, that you go ahead and binge watch the show, have some fun going through it, and then come back and listen to this review later, because this is definitely going to be spoilers, you guys. So if you have not seen the latest episode, please do not continue with this review until you actually watch it. Okay? So the latest episode, and actually forgive me guys, because I meant to get the title of the last one. It's kind of longer, so I'm having to go back and actually grab it. Give me 1 second. I want to make sure I say this right. Okay. The last episode was season 3, episode 9, okay, titled Goodnight, Sweet Prince. What I loved about this episode, and what was unexpected for me, was Harley killing Stahl. What? I was sitting here like, you have to be kidding me. This did not just happen. All right, so for those of you who are tuning in and you just want to hear something, you may be just listening to me talk, you've never watched this show. The show follows Harley Santos, who is a police officer or detective played by Jennifer Lopez. And when I first heard about Shades of Blue, not that I'm not a fan of J-Lo, as far as, her acting. The thing was, I've always thought that J-Lo should transition over to acting more than singing. Not that I don't enjoy her singing, but I've always thought that she was a great actress. But at the time, she was, I guess you can say, coming back out and growing her music career once again, getting back out there in the eye of the public. And I was like, how is this really going to pan out? She's very, very busy. And they stressed that a lot when the show first just, came out. So I'm like, I don't know if I want to watch this. But one day, I just so happened to have time on my hands. I saw the show up on Hulu, the first season, and the first season was already over. And I said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and check this show out. I literally binge watched that first season in one day, because I'm sitting here like, oh my God, this show is crazy. These detectives and cops are crazy. So it follows a team of Matt Wozniak. Okay, Wozniak is played by Ray Liotta, and please forgive me if I'm butchering his last name, but great actor. I followed him in a lot of his previous films. Very, very great actor. Love him in Shades of Blue. He's so captivating. Both he and J-Lo together are both just wow. What I loved about the show from season 1 is all of the twists and turns that were coming never stopped. You watch one episode, something went down, and then you go to the next episode, something else is transpiring. It was just, it kept up a very nice, smooth pace. It did not slow down at all. It wasn't too fast. It wasn't too slow. And everything was just so twisted. So what happened was Harley got caught up with the FBI, which is where Stahl comes in. Stahl basically says that the FBI has been following Wozniak's team, which is, of course, a team that Harley herself is included in. And he stated that if she doesn't do what they need her to do, then they're going to rain down on the team and come crashing in, because they're doing a lot of illegal activities, So what's happening with Wozniak's crew is they're basically, in a way, keeping the streets clean while keeping their pockets tight at the same time. Or should I say keeping their pockets nice at the same time? So they're doing some shady stuff, but in the same breath, they're saying we're doing this because the streets are better for it, pretty much. Okay. So in the midst of all of this, Stahl becomes obsessive with Harley, even to the point where he pays a prostitute to dress up like Harley so that he can imagine himself being with her, while having this prostitute say certain things to him that he wants Harley to say to him. Really, really real FBI psycho. Okay, just saying. So what happens in season 2, fast forward, Harley and Stahl are still going back and forth. Harley is playing the game, but also knows that Stahl is very, very crazy. He's right now in the process of trying to reveal some of her secrets, including her killing her ex, and I don't know if they were ever married. I can't remember that about the series, but her baby daddy, he's Christina's father. Christina is the daughter of Harley on the show. She kills him in the apartment that she's staying in currently, because he was an abusive, spouse. Okay. So he barges in, this being the baby daddy, or ex-boyfriend, whatever. He barges into her apartment, and the abuse is starting again. He wants to abuse her. He's threatening her. He's threatening Christina, so she kills him. Okay. Stahl finds out about it. He's ready to reveal it all, while also harassing Harley himself and making her do things that she doesn't want to do. So he's holding all of this weight over her head. In season 2, she finds ways around that, and also pins the murder on Stahl of her ex. And not only that, exposes Stahl for being a stalker himself. Pretty freaking insane. The episode of season 2, the finale, ends with Harley slicing her own wrist while she was captured by Stahl. Okay. And Stahl, it cuts off with Stahl asking her, why did she do this? She's running outside. She's disoriented, and then she faints, and the show goes off. And we're sitting here like, what? And under the same breath, in season 2's finale, Wozniak was shot in the police station by a kid. literally a kid, okay, who's like maybe under 10 years old. Okay, but this kid has been raised up in the streets. His mom is on drugs or dealing drugs. So he's coming up in a really rough neighborhood, and he was following a gangbanger who they end up killing. I believe either late season 2, early season 3. They did a reveal on that. Okay, I believe it was early season 3 because Wozniak this season because Wozniak tongue-tied was still looking for him in season 3. So yeah, they end up killing this thug in season 3 who raised this kid, or influenced this kid to shoot Wozniak, okay, in the stomach. So at the end of season 2, both Harley, J-Lo's character, and Wozniak, Ray's character, are both just out of it. Okay, they're having a hard time. We don't know if either one of them are going to live by the end of the season finale of season 2. Okay, so here we are. Fast forward, season 3. Holy moly! Okay, just on and popping. I'm thinking the season was going to start with maybe Harley still trying to get away from Stahl. Maybe we see an arrest of Stahl. We just don't know what we're getting into in season 3. A lot of the fans were like, you know what? I really am upset with Shades of Blue for just coming back out with season 3. We didn't have any hint of how it was going to begin until they released the promo right before the first episode of season 3 premiered. It was quite a long hiatus that they went on after the season 2 finale, and that was in part reportedly due to Jennifer Lopez's busy schedule. Okay, so after all of that, in the promo, they show J-Lo, basically Harley's character, spilling all the tea of what's happening in the department. We don't know why at this point. What I must say is I am impressed by the writing of this show, because I didn't expect for it to take the turn it did. To come off of one storyline between Harley and Stahl and to embrace a completely new storyline while keeping Harley and Stahl's storyline a thing was pretty amazing. I really can appreciate them taking the time out to switch the narrative slightly to not drown us out with Harley and Stahl, but still keep it in play. Pretty doggone witty stuff, okay? So what's happened now is Wozniak and the crew has now crossed paths with the corrupt intelligence unit, okay? So now you have the intelligence unit of the NYPD who are now crossing paths with Wozniak's team, and their level of corruption is on a whole nother level than Wozniak's crew's level of corruption. Before all of this, we didn't really see too much murdering on Wozniak's crew as far as how they dealt in their day-to-day business. Okay, I'm talking about day-to-day business. Of course, we started to see corrupt things happen once Harley began to engage with Stahl, which is the FBI agent. We started to see corruption happening and Wozniak flipping his lid, even to the point where he ends up killing one of his own members because he thinks they're a snitch. Okay, so we do see all of that transpire, but we never really hear that Wozniak and his crew are just engaged in, killing other people, just for the heck of it, okay? But with the corruption in the intelligence unit, they will kill on the fly. If you're messing up, you screwing up something, you're keeping something from happening, they're gunning for you, bullets flying, however, and they make sure they cover it up really well. So we're dealing with a whole different beast than Stahl was. Stahl is a psychopath. This particular group they're very well, should I say, funded by some corrupt people, and they have their hands in everything from technology to the department itself. So they have eyes everywhere. Unlike Stahl, who was going for Harley alone. You know, he was like a lone ranger trying to build this case against them without letting his department in on what he really knew and his obsession with Harley himself. You get what I'm saying? So we're dealing with two different worlds. The fact that they even spun this out of all of this, it just amazes me. So the episode of season 3, the very first episode, the premiere, starts off with Harley sitting in a courtroom, basically letting them know, hey, I have witnessed some things corrupt, done some corrupt things myself. And then you see the crew, her crew, Wozniak's crew, sitting in there. I don't see Wozniak at that time, and I'll get to that in a moment. But you see them sitting there, and I'm thinking, oh gosh, well, she's not going to rat them out while they're just sitting there chilling, you know, so how is this going to come out? Now, as we fast forward all the way to this current episode, episode 9, which is Goodnight, Sweet Prince, we understand that Harley is now trying to operate completely by a moral compass. Not trying to do things the fast way, the quick way, the easy way, but she wants to do things the right way because she feels like, hey, I have to protect my daughter, Christina. I have to quit putting myself in these positions like the one that she was in with Stahl, because she's trying to cover up, run, hide, lie, you know, cheat the system. She's saying we do this the right way or we don't do this at all. That's her argument the whole time between her and Wozniak throughout this particular season 3. Okay, so I love that they kept that dynamic going between her and Wozniak. They kept that communication there where he's up against her, she's up against him, but you still felt like they were family. They didn't agree, but they still have each other's backs. Okay, Harley even went so far as to say, I'll do this without you, no problem. All right, but as time goes on, Wozniak also taps into his moral compass because his daughter killed herself, and he was trying to save her, and he pretty much blames himself for the route that she took in her life. So his daughter, he's having flashbacks of her. He's drinking a lot. He's also still recovering from his injury of being shot. So clearly both of them survived the season 2 finale. Okay. Now, Stahl, in the midst of them fighting the corrupt intelligence unit, Stahl is now up in his ante, and he's going after Harley to the point where he even wants to frame her for murder. So he kills the prostitute that used to dress up like Harley, and he plants the knife in Harley's car. Okay, Harley finds the knife and goes on to attempt to dispose of the knife, and she thinks, nope. I honestly, you guys, had Harley disposed of that knife, I would have been too through with the show. I was waiting on her to make the better decision, or I was going to cut the show off. I was like, I can't take this type of twist. I can't take Harley being stupid enough to throw away a knife with blood evidence. So then the show comes back on. Okay, it takes us a little, it blanks out, so we don't know what Harley does. She's standing there, she looks, she's kind of like a statue for a moment, not moving, and then it flashes to the scene where she's walking into the FBI building with the knife, and she reports it. Now she reports it to the FBI agent. And I didn't even gather her name, you guys. Honestly, I just didn't like her that much. But you all know who I'm talking about if you've been following the show. The FBI agent who was sleeping with Stahl and also had Stahl living with her, knew he was in New York the whole time, but she's been covering for Stahl because Stahl saved her life. Okay, so this is a fellow FBI agent. She feels at the time that Stahl was right in wanting to come down on Harley, and she thought that she was helping a fellow officer or friend who saved her life at one time, and he's just in a bad place with somebody lying on her. So Stahl is pulling the strings of this FBI agent. When Harley turns in a knife, there was no reason for them to go after her. But then that particular, the corrupt FBI agent, the one that is housing Stahl right now, still tries to pursue the murder case against her slightly, with Stahl encouraging her to do so. Okay. In this episode of season 3, episode 9, the one right before the series finale, Stahl kills that corrupt FBI agent because the tape comes out that Stahl doctored, showing that he was not at the train station, but then Harley finds the real one showing that Stahl was indeed at the train station at the date and time that she saw him. So it was a mess. And with all of that evidence coming out, and Harley taking it straight to the head of the FBI department there, the corrupt FBI agent, the female, goes to Stahl and says, hey, you need to run. You need to do something because it's coming down on you now. The proof is out there that you're here in New York. Something's going to be done about you. He was trying to encourage her to frame Harley again, plant some more evidence on her. He really wanted to frame her. This time he brings up the murder of her ex. Okay. So at this point, his frame job is not going as he wants it to go. Okay. The thing about it is the FBI agent that he had under his thumb at this point knew that he was corrupt. She just didn't believe anything that he said. He still kept the teeth from Harley's ex that he found in a grave. He kept it to one day use it against Harley, and she wouldn't allow him to use her to do that. So he kills her, and then we go to the very end of the episode that really, really threw me for a loop. And I was like, you know what? This is good. This is some good stuff. Stahl ends up in Harley's apartment. He's holding a gun. I'm sitting here like, they're bringing this to a head now? I'm like, what? What I can appreciate about this show is I didn't feel too overwhelmed with Stahl and the intelligence unit both being after Harley at the same time. They balanced it out by throwing in certain situations with the other cops on the team. Okay, so say for instance like Tess is another one that is a part of the team. Tess is a mom. She's a single mom. And they're throwing in some of her situation, her financial situation, which the intelligence unit is right now going after her. Hopefully she doesn't accept the jobs from them. And if she does, hopefully it's to help her team. I just don't see her being disloyal, but it could be possible. But they threw in some things with Tess. They also threw in some things with Tufo. Tufo is Tess's partner right now. There are what do they call it? Cops that are in the squad car. So they lost their detective shields and now they're in the squad cars riding together. And I'm sitting here like, you know what? I can appreciate the storylines that they threw in. They threw in Tufo's brother and the situation with his brother because his brother just got released from jail and Tufo is trying to make sure that he stays on the straight and narrow. But Wozniak ends up putting the brother back on the streets without Tufo's permission. So that those type of stories balance out that feeling of, oh my gosh, Harley's under the gun again, because the pressure was on season 1 and season 2 for sure. And it's not that the pressure was gone, but with two different storylines or two different corrupt departments going after one person, it was not overdone. And I can really appreciate that. I was worried about it at first, but it panned out really awesome. So when it came down to this last episode, episode 9 of season 3, I'm sitting here thinking, they're about the Stahl situation is coming to a head. I did not see that coming. I did not call it. I did not know that was going down. So here we are. He has the gun. He's pointing it at Harley. They're exchanging words. He is talking about Harley and her decision making and how she's corrupt and she should answer for the things that she's done, which has always been his argument since season 1. Okay. And then Harley is going back and forth with him saying, you have made me a better person, pretty much trying to talk him off the ledge of killing her and himself, because he clearly states there's a bullet for you and then the other bullet is for me. Here's what I did not expect. Christina, Harley's daughter, walks into the apartment from another door that we haven't seen all season, the whole series. We didn't know there were 2 doors to Harley's apartment. What I'm thinking is that Harley and Christina came up with an escape plan. If Christina ever felt something was off at home, to do XYZ. It was just too smooth. I'm sitting up here like, what? None of us saw this coming. They engage in conversation. Harley asks Christina how is her practice. You know, she's into music. She states that everything was good, but she also comments on someone else being flat. You know, they kind of engage, but like mother and daughter. Christina does a great job pretending nothing is going on. Christina then, after they're, back and forth with her mother, comes into the kitchen, in the kitchen/living room area, and embraces her mom with a hug. Her mom turns her, knows to turn her, but her mom at this point, Harley at this point, is trying to turn her so she doesn't see Stahl. Stahl is standing right there, but he covers his mouth. He's still holding up the gun so that Christina does not hear him. He's still planning on killing Harley. Still planning on it, okay? Christina then takes her mother's hand, puts it on her back pocket, where Christina, the daughter, has the gun. Okay, Christina's in school, guys. And I want to say Christina's still in high school, finishing up high school. But she takes her mom's hand, puts it on the gun, and tell her, do not hesitate. Okay? Harley takes the gun out the pocket, does not hesitate. Stahl does not see it coming. She puts it in him. She puts the lead in him, okay? Don't know how many. I didn't count, okay? I'm not that into it to where I'm counting the bullets, all right? But she did them in. He hits the floor, still breathing, blood coming out of his mouth, and he tells her, I'm glad it was you. She puts one final bullet in him. Now, she didn't put the bullet in the head. I said, thank God this series is ending, because I don't want them to pull a revenge and he ends up coming back to life somehow. Just no. But speaking of revenge, now, those of you who've been following TV and Popcorn, you guys know I was a huge fan of Revenge. I mean, like, one of the top shows that I always wanted to just discuss. Oh, God, it still breaks my heart how they did Revenge. But Nick Wessler plays Cole. Nick was one of the characters in Revenge, the love interest in Revenge to Emily Thorne. Okay? He was the one who owned I want to say, it wasn't a bar, but seafood place, whatever, bar, whatever. It's been a while, but you guys know what I'm talking about. She ends up marrying him in the end. I can't say that I didn't like him in Revenge, but the way they ended Revenge was just so off-put to me that when I saw him come over to Shades of Blue, I was like, no, heck, freaking no, no, because I had such high hopes for Revenge and they just let me down. They just shot me down. So he's now in the series as in Shades of Blue. He plays Cole, okay? And you guys following, you already know Cole is a part of the intelligence unit that's corrupt, okay? He himself is now trying to follow a moral compass, and he is now helping Harley to come to terms with her situation and helping her to find the killer of Nova. I want to say it's Nova. which was her love interest. He was killed in the beginning of the season by the intelligence unit. And so he's there helping Harley gather all the intel that she needs against the intelligence unit. At first, I don't know about y'all, but at first, I questioned Cole as if he was really wanting to help or if he was setting Harley up. Trust me, I could not take another setup. I just couldn't. I'm like, I don't want her to have another issue with another guy. Okay? Come to find out, Cole is pretty legit. He is right now held up in the same motel that Harley and her daughter went to after she killed Stahl in her apartment. Okay? So here we are, the end of season 3, episode 9 of Shades of Blue. And Harley and her daughter's in the motel. And Harley's in the bathroom crying. And we still have the cliffhanger of what's going to happen with the intelligence unit. What's going to happen with Wozniak, who's being framed by the intelligence unit. He's being framed right now, saying that he's in cahoots with some drug lords, all kinds of craziness going on. But the Stahl storyline ended, and I'm sitting here like, what? It was like I could breathe. I couldn't believe how this went down, but very, very well done. Quickly done. Not overly done, just very well done. I'm just saying, like a good well done steak. I'm just saying. So I'm super excited for the finale. I'm going to come back to you guys and definitely do a review for the series finale of Shades of Blue. I'm super excited to be a part of it, just to have something out there where I discuss this show. Even though I feel the audience have not gravitated to the show the way I feel it's due. I believe people will come around. It's going to be one of those shows that when people watch it throughout the years to come, it's going to go down as one of the most well-written shows out there. I'm putting it on my top 10. And if they end this with a bang, if it changes by the series finale, which I doubt, I'll let you guys know. But how they end this is going to put a nice little red bow on it for me, which I'm looking forward to. So with that being said, also let me throw in there with Cole, which is Nick's character from Revenge. Cole and Harley, I am so glad that they didn't make them immediate love interest. Do I feel like they may make them love interest at the end? Maybe they'll flash forward and show Harley living her best life, and prayerfully she's no longer living in that same apartment where she's now killed 2 men. I'm just saying, rightfully so, okay? But I just couldn't do it. Harley, I think, would be crazy enough to continue to live where she's killed 2 people, but she needs to move out, find a house, white picket fence, something, I don't know. But I also love the taste of the writers for not, because there was one part in this episode here that we're discussing that I really thought that Harley and Cole were going to have a moochy kissy moment, and I'm sitting here like, no. I was literally saying no, closing my eyes like, don't do it, don't be stupid, don't do it. I'm still not over Nava myself, which he was an attorney. I'm not over him. So I didn't want to see that. I feel like it was really done with class, even though I think Harley likes Cole and Cole likes Harley. They've kept it strictly platonic, and I can appreciate that about the show. So that's my review, guys. Once again, I'm super happy to be back. I'm going to be announcing the new website here soon. It's not ready to launch yet, but it is coming along great. Remember, guys, to like, comment, and subscribe. I am back here with you guys to hang out, and I would love to hear what you guys thought about Shades of Blue in general and this last episode, season 3, episode 9. Leave a comment and I will chat with you then. Once again, this is Monica, and you can holler at me anytime at tvandpopcorn.com. Talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.